Happy Sunday, ladies and gents, all in crypto here, and welcome back, guys, for what is going to be nothing short of another jam-packed daily market update. My apologies for no video yesterday. Spending a little bit of downtime with some family that I've not seen in a little while, which is always important, and taking advantage of the kind of market sentiment and price action that we have seen, or certainly had seen on the back end of last week. And February, thank goodness, is now over. In February alone, we had the largest ever liquidation event in cryptocurrency space's history. So that includes FTX and things like Luna, etc. And of course, the 19 crash. We had the largest ever rug pull, and we had the largest ever hack take place. And we're still holding up very well, in my opinion. And I think we can attribute that to the kind of environment that we're in now. And I truly believe this, and my money is well and truly where my mouth is on this, that we have an amazing time ahead of us as cryptocurrency investors. We're still really to see a true alt season. I do think that is coming. I'm watching others' BTC chart very closely for that, and of course BTC dominance. I think that is yet to be upon us, and actually I do envision a future where Bitcoin loses more and more ground to the altcoin sector. Certainly those cryptos out there that are fundamentally going to impact the world in a big way, which isn't going to be many of them. 99% of the cryptocurrencies that are out there today will disappear, in my opinion. So taking a bit of downtime, or a day, just to sort of spent a little bit of time with family, went to the beach. Always good to connect with nature. I'm somebody that does very well in that kind of an environment. I think we all do. And actually, if you're looking to start a business, I think a great business idea is certainly coming up with a way here in the UK where people can actually reconnect with that, escapes and things like that. But we're not here to talk about potential business ideas. Let's talk about what's going on in the cryptocurrency markets. And we missed, because we didn't cover yesterday, the announcement by David Sachs on March the 7th of the first ever White House Crypto Summit. So that's going to take place this Friday. It's the 2nd today, so the 7th would be Friday. He says President Trump will host the first White House Crypto Summit on Friday, March the 7th. Attendees will include prominent founders, CEOs, and investors from the crypto industry. Looking forward to seeing everyone there. And this was published on the back end of February, so the last day of February. February is a very short month, thank goodness. White House to host the first ever crypto summit. The White House announced today that President Trump will host and deliver remarks at the first ever White House crypto summit on Friday, March the 7th. Attendees will include prominent founders, CEOs and investors from the crypto industry, as well as members of the President's Working Group on Digital Assets. The summit will be chaired by the White House AI and crypto czar, David Sachs, and administered by the Working Group Executive Board Director, Bo Hines. David Sachs is an exceptionally interesting person. He was actually one of the people that founded PayPal and really understands how money can be transformed in a digital age. And actually, I would argue, or certainly wager, because you find the same people that founded PayPal, by the way, actually involved in the likes of OpenCoin, which then became Ripple, etc., along with Andrew Horowitz, etc. So David Sachs, very interesting character. This is going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting to see what comes on the back end of this. To continue this, and we did keep you up to date on Twitter. Do follow me on Twitter, guys. I can be a lot more sort of active there. And we're doing a great job. We're growing. Mark my words on this. I'm going to make a kind of statement to everyone that some of you may care for, some of you may not. But by the end of this year, All in Crypto will likely be, across all our platforms, I would say top 5, if not the place to go when it comes to crypto news. We've got a lot of things. We're expanding our team on a consistent basis, and really we're doing that so that we can deliver the best kind of content for you guys as it relates to the cryptocurrency space, but the investment arena more broadly. And we've got lots of interesting things coming there. Now's a great time to become a Patreon, by the way. So to continue this, previously President Trump promised to be America's first crypto president, and in his week on executive orders, order 14178, he declared that the policy of administration to support the responsible growth and use of digital assets across all sectors of the economy, and it does expand to all sectors, not just finance. After the previous administration unfairly prosecuted the digital asset space, President Trump's policy vision represents a new era for digital financial technology. The administration is committed to providing a clear regulatory framework, enabling innovation and protecting economic liabilities. This is from Eleanor Tourette. Great person to follow, by the way. I'm going to go ahead and give her a follow now. Scoop, Friday. Friday's White House Crypto Summit will be the first in a series of confabs designed to replace the previous proposed Crypto Advisory Council as a way for the President's Working Group on Digital Assets to collaborate with industries and policymakers. So who's going to be there is going to be very important. You're going to see the likes of a lot of the same people that were at the crypto ball, but more kind of selective, in my opinion. For Friday's gathering, a list of around 25 invitees has been finalized, I'm told. Unclear at the moment who is going to be on the list. More as I get it. So, fundamentally, technically, I don't think the cryptocurrency space looks in a bad place at all. We had a bit of a brutal pullback, but this is crypto. If you haven't understood that that's something that's inherent with being an investor in this space, then whoever you've been getting your information off is quite frankly wrong. And I think, and I don't say this to rub things in, I say this to say, pay attention, guys. When I look at 80% of my portfolio, it's still hundreds of percent up. We're talking about the likes of HBAR, which bounced exactly where we said it would. XRP, some of these ones, and you'll unlock my full portfolio, including some of the smaller plays that I have, and stocks, if you become a patron. But there's this really great time ahead of us. And I think we're going to see a lot of things sort of coming out in regards to the administration. I was actually playing at Trump's course yesterday. I know, obviously, given the back end of some of the meetings that have taken place, there's kind of a very polarizing person to bring up at this time. But it was very interesting. I do think he's got a sort of plan for the cryptocurrency market, so he's obviously entrusted to the likes of sort of David Sachs, etc. And interesting that David Sachs, Elon Musk, all kind of came out of PayPal, and there's this kind of evolution of money taking place. So to continue, so this is going to be huge. That's going to take place on Friday. We also have a Sunshine Act, which we'll talk about in just a second, and relate that to XRP once again, because what we're seeing right now, to go to another post from Eleanor, is it looks like the judge in the Richard Hart case granted his lawyer's motion to dismiss the SEC's charges against him. A little bit of a different to the dismissals we've seen coming directly from the SEC. According to the ruling, the SEC now has 20 days to file an amendment complaint. However, given the regulatory environment being so favorable towards crypto right now, and enforcement cases being dropped left and right, the agency may choose not to pursue it. And I hope so. I like Richard Hart. I actually really like Richard Hart. I don't invest in Pulse, Hex, or that ecosystem. That's just my own personal preferences. However, I think Richard Hart is a smart guy, and I'm over the moon that his case is going to be dismissed. It hasn't been dismissed yet, like he's sort of looking at here, but it's the motion to dismiss. They've got 20 days to do this, and this comes on the back end of a sort of wave of crypto dismissals. Consensus was recently, Uniswap, etc. We have another Sunshine Act, and these are all following the Thursday Sunshine Act. Now, the last Thursday one, they were supposed to be talking about the XRP case in relation to Bitwise, but we've not had anything in regard to that. So why are they dropping all the other cases, but not this one? Remember, there's another Sunshine Act taking place on the 6th of Thursday, so the day before the sort of crypto conference. And there's a lot of speculation in regards to why the hell haven't they dropped the Ripple case. I think there should be a lot of speculation in regards to why did they go after Ripple in the first place. That was not low-hanging fruit. And this is from the Meta Lawman. I have a theory about the SEC's unexplained delay in dismissing the Ripple case. It might not be the SEC. It could be Ripple is negotiating hard to get the SEC to agree to vacate some or all of Judge Torres' decisions. The Torres decisions was unquestionably great for XRP holders, but the finding of securities laws violations and B, injunction with attendance bad boy provisions are not a great sign for Ripple. This is particularly true if Ripple consider a future exempt security offering or IPO. They will IPO this year, I think, Ripple, or look to. It doesn't have to be this year, soon. And actually, I think Ripple as a company, just like many of the other companies that Peter Thiel has had a hand in through Founders Fund, is going to become one of the largest technology companies in the world and fundamentally change how money takes place. And that's why I'm invested in XRP. I know not everyone's a fan of it. That's totally fine, by the way. I somewhat applaud but somewhat dislike the maximalism that there is in the cryptocurrency space, or the kind of tribalism. there will not be one chain to rule them all. Horses for courses. Lots of chains do different things. There are crossovers and competitions that take place in that, but we're still to get to a point where we can start to divide that pie. We're still sort of trying to form that pie that we can then divide. And I think XRP is a clear winner for me, but this is very interesting. I believe the SEC would have accepted a settlement where both sides dismiss their appeal, and the SEC takes a $125 million penalty in a heartbeat, of course, because they're just getting dismissed now without anything. All those taxpayer money is being misspent. So it makes sense to me, or at least that Ripple could be negotiating for a better deal than that. This is pure speculation on my part. I could be wrong, but it wouldn't be the first time. We don't know what exactly is taking place, but it is rather interesting and suspicious, isn't it, that all these other cases, a lot lower profile cases, and potentially that's why, are being dismissed, but not the Ripple, Brad and Chris case. But I do think that's to come, and I think that's very bullish. And I think if you look at XRP in comparison with other altcoins, not only did it do spectacular, and we very much profited from that, and are still profiting from it, it's not pulled back as much and is showing a lot more strength than many of the others out there. And that's because of the fundamental usage and et cetera, that it's kind of got going on. Let's talk a little bit about the markets. And I want to start things off with sort of the CME chart. Now, there was, and we said this is a possibility, we've always said this is a possibility, that the CME gap was going to get closed. That hasn't been closed yet. It doesn't need to get closed. Often these gaps can take a hell of a long time to get filled. Like, for example, the one that took place in 2021 got filled in 2022, multiple years later. So if we sort of look at this, it took 539 days to take place and actually get filled. So this is maybe something to watch in the future. Could it still get filled? Potentially. One thing that we've really done and tried to continue to do is keep you guys interested in the broader charts and say don't focus on short-term price action because it's largely irrelevant. There's not much you can do about it. I see all these ding-dongs on Twitter saying it really is bad, the quality of content out there when it comes to technical analysis on the cryptocurrency space. Oh, I told you, 80K, you know, or whatever. What can you do with that? What have you done with that? Where's the actions? I honestly don't give a shit about short-term price action. It's good, like, for example, if you form something here like a bull flag. I care about the broader trend. That's all I care about. And I think the space looks absolutely fantastic. And just to highlight why that's the case, look at Ethereum's journey to a 60x in the last bull market. Look at how many brutal pullbacks you had here. Are you going to be able to time every top and every bottom of that? And a lot of people going, oh man, I wish I'd bought back my Hedera after it did 25% in a day. Well, you might have sold at the wrong time. You might be 10% down in your overall holding. I don't know. But the reason I don't care about short-term price action is I can't time every single one of these pullbacks. I can't get out in time for it and back in at the bottom. I can't do that. I've been doing this for years, and I've got a very good track record. Maybe people watching think they can. I don't trade the cryptocurrency space. I invest in it, and I invest in it for a very simple principle, which essentially is phase analysis, which looks at the ebb and flows of markets that just rinse and repeat. And we're at a stage where we're about to enter what we look at as phase 2, just to show you the Ethereum chart again, just like we saw back here. A retest is very common, and we're about to see broad continuation for the space as a whole. So I don't really give a shit about short-term price action. I care about the broader trend. When it comes to Bitcoin, we've got a number of technical confluencing patterns that all take us to the upside. When we look at the totals, wherever we look in the cryptocurrency space, guys, it looks spectacular. Whether you're looking at sort of small cap altcoins, I mean, look at this for Hedera. This is textbook in regards to a retest. Get ready for that real broad continuation. The future is a bright one, ladies and gentlemen. Very quickly, let's just talk about the week ahead because, of course, we've got non-farm payrolls on Friday. That's going to be economic data. The ECB rate isn't expected to cut. We've got US ISM servicing and, of course, manufacturing. Nice to see a rise on there with the sort of economic cycles or in line with what we're expecting for economic cycles. Hang in there, guys. If you're not already a subscriber, do consider becoming one. We'll keep you up to date every single day. I think it's going to be an interesting week with the Sunshine Act. You're probably going to see more interesting developments in regards to the SEC and cases. Richard Hart, the most recent one, and we wish Richard Hart all the sort of best. I know some people might not agree with that, but he's not done anything to me. You know, whatever. One person I'd like to sort of shout out as well is Roger Ver. I think Roger Ver is one of the most wholesome people in the cryptocurrency industry. If you're an XRP fan, this is an initial founder of XRP or initial funder. This is somebody who's been fighting for the true nature of what crypto could do from a libertarian point of view in regards to ushering in freedom and combating government control, and that's why they're going after him. And they actually put him in jail beforehand for essentially calling out the government for what took place a while ago. So he's somebody that everyone should start looking into and start supporting. That's really it from me, guys. Become a subscriber if you're not already. Hang in there. Don't focus on short-term price action and volatility, which is just inherent with the cryptocurrency space, and get ultimately tricked as a result of it. Focus on that bigger picture, and you will focus on that bigger trend. We'll help you do that, and you will find the path to victory. There's a lot coming this week. Sunshine Act, more cases likely getting dropped and revelations. You've got the ball taking place, or not the ball, sorry, the conference. Going to be interesting to see who's there. And also lots of economic data coming out, and we'll be watching things from a price point of view. We've got lots of content to bring you. That's it from me, guys. I'm going to love and leave you. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you all in the next one.